What's up, everybody? This is your girl Nita, your favorite diva, and I'm back for another podcast edition of my review of the Braxtons. Had to review this one. This really hurt. Um, it was very, very painful to watch. Definitely want to give it a trigger warning. This season of the Braxtons is dedicated to our beloved sister Traci. Our beautiful hummingbird, her spirit and bright light are with us always. We are family forever. Love the Braxtons. Um, I thought that they did a fantastic tribute to her in this first episode. Um, I'm sorry. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm Nita, your favorite diva. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you like the vibe over here. The tone is a little melancholy because of the situation. There were still some good moments in the show, very good moments of levity, lightheartedness, but then we did have the other side of coping, and this is 2 years after Traci's passing. We all know that Traci passed away from esophageal cancer, and it took her pretty quick. Yeah, it took her pretty quick. It was really really hard to see that, and yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the the episode. It was so emotional, so emotional. Episode one, I think it's entitled "We're Back." We're gonna go through, I already read this. They're dedicating it for Traci. I really, really, really have mixed feelings about the way the family treated Traci. It felt like she was the scapegoat. It felt like she was the black sheep. It felt like she just didn't have the a better connection with everybody because of the choices that she made regarding the group, and how her life ended up versus theirs. They had a different trajectory. But Traci was always my favorite Braxton, aside from Trina. Now it's Trina. Trina, to me, I just love her spirit. I love like her energy. It feels very genuine. It feels like the love is real and not, like something I should do. Um, she's always been like a loving spirit. Now, when it comes to Traci, um, like I said, she was my favorite because I felt like she kept it real. She kept it the realest of all of them. Um, Towanda, to me, she was like the neutral party, the one that was always kind of caught in the middle. She knew everything. She knew everything. Everybody trusted that they could talk to Towanda. Towanda knows where all the bones are buried. She knows where all the skeletons and the bones are buried. She always seemed like she had more information than the rest of the girls. And yeah, so let's go through how I feel about all of the characters as we try to embrace back into um Braxton Family Values, aka the Braxtons now. Miss Evelyn. I'm kind of on the fence with Miss Evelyn. I understand she's kind of old school and stuff like that, but yeah, she has some ways about her that I'm just not, fully on board with. I think she's a very active parent. She's always there for her girls. It's just sometimes her ideologies, just kind of clash with mine a little bit. Um, yeah, so we were seeing her, catching up with her. We was catching up with everyone. Tamar, in her interview with Carlos King, she said she was going to be more of a friend of the show, like in that capacity. She wasn't really going to be a main player. And so I'm cool with that because I need Tamar in doses. And her and her antics, they're fine sometimes, but she definitely has the youngest child syndrome all over her, which makes her very immature, very crass at times, very insensitive at times. And yeah, so if you a Tamar stan, you may not like my takes on Miss Tamar. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and move on. Like I said, Towanda, she seems to be the outside of Toni and Tamar. She's the one that kind of knows everything. Everybody trusts her, with their life. Like she knows all the secrets and stuff like that. I've always liked Towanda. Her situation with her husband, her ex-husband, child, that was a hot mess, but still love Towanda regardless. Okay. We get to Toni. Toni the living legend Braxton. Okay, baby, let me tell you, I love me some Toni down. Like for my top female artists, Toni Braxton is top three. Top three. Okay, so Toni D Braxton, love you down. Um, you know, she does have the illness. Y'all know she is struggling with lupus. And then she had some other kind of situation that happened where she had to put a stent in her heart and she has more complications with the lupus. And they are really telling her that she really should stop touring. But as we get into the episode, you'll see that she will continue to do so. And we'll see if we'll be dealing with the effects of that. So here's Toni. Now, my butterfly, my girl, Trina, baby, I love her down, love her down. And this is the part where she was saying that you know, Traci had these pictures of hummingbirds and she had five of them on her back and all of them representing one of the sisters. Traci has always been like the glue that kind of held the family together because she always pushed for that. She always wanted all of the family to get together, that she wanted them to work through their issues. She always talked about they didn't know how to communicate, how they kind of, they just go into their corners and they don't really film. But when you see when they film, they have such a great chemistry. Outside of the petty fighting, we need the dramatics and stuff like that. But Trina, she was like, I take my hummingbird with me everywhere I go, except for when I'm laying with my man. And I know she don't want to be there with. So she was so cute. In this episode, she was very very concerned about. Now I'm sounding like her about um little Kevin, and that's Tracy's only son. And so yeah, so she gets in there and the episode starts off 2 days before grief counseling. Um, yes, and then we get the story about singer and reality star Traci Braxton dies of esophageal cancer at 50. So yeah. Tracy passed this morning as the snow was falling. Our angel is now a snowflake. Yeah, it was very, very sad to hear that. But you do know that there were a couple of pictures floating around when her son got married to his child's mother, and she attended a wedding and she looked really, really small. And you was like, oh no, is something wrong? And before you knew it, she had passed. I don't even think that they even made an announcement of anything. It just felt so fast. It felt really, really fast. And so yeah, so they're talking about, the ramifications of, her last days and the times that they were together. Um yeah, yeah. So we start off the episode with Trina and her husband, Vaughn. And they've been married for 5 years now. And Traci was there at the wedding, falling all over the place, girl. It was a mess. And she was just talking about how close her and Kevin was. They had a very, very special bond. And she's worried about Kevin, and she wants to be able to be there for him. She does reveal that Kevin's family, weddings and funerals and, deaths, they actually can bring the family closer or they can destroy the family. And I think it is a part of the latter of what's happening. And maybe this show will start to be a pathway to healing. Um, that is my hope. That is my hope. And she reveals to Vaughn that his father, they're not, Big Kevin and Little Kevin seem to have become estranged. Now I've heard rumblings about this. I do know the family in a sense. I am kind of connected through my BFF, and her daughter and her children are um, kin to, you know, um, Big Kevin. So that was his first family. And so before he got with Traci. So yeah, so I'm kind of in the know of some things, and I do remember that around the time of her passing, there was a memorial service that was done by Big Kevin, which the sisters did not attend, and then they in turn had their own memorial service wherein Big Kevin didn't attend. So there is some contention there between the family or whatever. And what I don't want you to do, Trina, is try to come on this TV and rewrite history, because we know, just like he was talking about Gabe, trying to say that the family loved Gabe, girl, what? Like and then she's saying something about, she brought up Kevin in some of this. She was like, be it as it is. I'm not gonna speak ill on him, even though whatever happened, whatever conspired during the time of the memorial, the funeral, the all of the things. So there is some contention there. So yeah, just wanna touch on that very briefly. Trina and Towanda meet at Toasted, and they are talking. They're mainly talking about Lil Kevin, for sure. For sure. And the fact that he's going through this divorce. And essentially, it's like he's lost his best friend and his mom. And then if Big Kevin and their relationship is strained, so it's like he's lost two parents. Because when your family goes no contact, it's almost like another death. It's like a grief. And then his marriage failing. And I believe his marriage is probably in flux or failing in a sense of the emotional needs um, aren't met. Um, you do know when someone passes away, everybody griefs looks different. They have different stages, different phases, all of the things. And it is hard when you have a companion that is grieving as well, and they have to try to help you through it. And they have a small child, and that's a lot of pressure. That is a lot of pressure. You don't know the ins and outs, like, somebody's being emotionally unavailable. You don't know if there's like, uh misplaced or displaced anger that's going on, and they're so young, they're so young. And my heart really goes out to them. But I love that Trina is more on the lines of we have to pick up the pieces. Now, the thing is about this is that, Traci passed 2 years ago. Now, don't get on this TV and wait for the cameras to come up to be here for little Kevin during this time. So don't do that. Like, y'all really should have had real, real, real concern for him right out the gate. Right out the gate. And the fact that they keep on trying to, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know these people. I don't know the Braxtons. But I don't, it's very sensitive. It's just very sensitive. So that's what I'll say. Just make sure it's genuine, coming from a good place, and we're not just trying to do a storyline. And they FaceTime him, making sure that he knows that we are here to support you. We love you. He does reveal that his wife actually, locked his hair up, like did his hair and braided it up. So he's saying that, one minute she wants to divorce, the next minute she doesn't. She's, that dance. You know that dance when you're at the end and some things just need to be dealt with and worked out. And it just, it gets a little difficult. So, very sad for him. He seems to be handling it well, but he did say that the 2-year death anniversary was coming up in a few days. And he said he didn't want to let it distract him because, he might be trying to get to the place of feeling better. And when that anniversary comes up, it's gonna, bring up the feelings. And, it's not like you don't feel the feelings every day. But yeah, he definitely brought that up. Um, the last days with Traci, she was reminiscing, and she was actually talking to Trina about, when she got her hair cut off, shaved all off, they thought that she had fallen sick as well. And she said no, and she reveals on camera that, I suffer with alopecia. And during Traci's last days, she would massage her head and try to get the hair growth stimulated and stuff like that. But you know how when people are in they do chemo and radiation and stuff, and they may lose their hair. And some people stand in solidarity with them and their family members and stuff like that, and shave their hair all off as well. And I thought that that's what was going on with Towanda. I never thought that she was sick. She never looked sick, you know? So yeah, so I didn't know it was alopecia. I thought she was standing in solidarity with them. So then we're talking about Toni's residency and how it was canceled back when she first got diagnosed with lupus, and she had the flare-ups and stuff, and the flare-ups was flaring. Okay, so she had to cancel her residency, and then she came and she revealed everything to her family at the beginning of Braxton Family Values. So she's been struggling. This is a lifelong struggle, y'all. It's a lifelong struggle. You never know how it's going to hit you, or how it's going to take you down. But now she's back at Vegas at a residency with Cedric the Entertainer, called Love and Laughter. So it's like a variety show. It's not just, her performing. He gets a set as well. So Love and Laughter. Okay. So kudos to her on that. All right. So we get to the dinner. We're at the dinner. And baby, when I tell you, Towanda was late, right? Not only was she late, but why she gonna bring her ass in there? They looking like the damn Bopsy twins, girl, with the same outfit on. And they was like, Traci would be dying laughing. So they know she's in heaven just laughing at this moment or whatever. But they have a moment, and Mama E says she misses, Traci. Y'all have a whole a family dinner, and we have a chair missing where we normally wouldn't. Tamar's on her best behavior. Thank you so much, Tamar, because, girl, we just not trying to. So in this conversation, Toni reveals, and I think Toni has a little bit of survivor's remorse Survivor's remorse is like, she's always been the sickly one, and she probably prepared herself. She was very, very emotional in her thing. They had to stop. She had needed a moment and everything. And she was just saying, like, I could not do nothing to help her. I couldn't do nothing to help her. It's like, she's probably been prepared to have like a medical emergency more so than any of her other sisters because they never had anything per se. And so tears are up, gets her all upset and everything. She reveals to the family that she had to get this stent in her heart, and that she needs a bypass. She needs a bypass because if she has another heart episode, it could be the end. So they asking her maybe don't tour. She was like, I've heard all of that before. I've had successful tours and through the lupus and all that stuff. And she really doesn't want to. But this situation really makes her scared. And Trina is really, really upset. I tell you, Trina to me, she feels like an empath, and she feels very, very deeply, and she takes on a lot of people energy and stuff like that. I know it all too well. I do. And Toni breaks down crying because she's saying that this is very, very serious. And when you think about your mortality, you think about, you don't want to leave your boys here even though they're adult men. She doesn't want to leave her boys here on this earth because I'm telling you, nobody takes care of your children the way you take care of them. And that's just the God honest truth about the matter. And so she's very, very upset that everybody rallies around her, hugs her, lifts her up, tell her they're going to be there for her, it's going to be okay, and all of the things. And pretty much that's where the episode moves on to the actual day of grief counseling. And we see they're at Toni's house, and Mama E is fixing some of Traci's favorite meals in honor of her. They're all there together. Trina opens up about the lady that she has coming to do the grief therapy because she worked with her when Gabe passed away. And Gabe was her husband of 14 years. He are the father of her children, and they needed some therapy. And so this lady is recommended through Trina. So yeah, so she dealt with that before, and so now she went upstairs to go put on her outfit that was given to her by Traci, and she greets the grief counselor. The grief counselor name is Spirit, and she comes on in. She walks in. We have Michael Braxton Sr. We got Kevin Jr. We have all four of the ladies and Mama E, and we're here and we're ready. However, it's hard to talk about it. Spirit wants to come in. She's like, I'm not trying to pit anybody against anybody. I'm not here to create any kind of confusion and chaos. I just need to know how I can help you. And child, everybody was on Beyonce's mute challenge. Like they didn't know what to say. She asked Trina because she knows Trina. And so she asked Trina, how can I be of service to you? And Trina can't even answer. Everybody's on mute. It's very, very hard. She said she didn't want to go first because she doesn't know what to say, and she's kind of at a loss for words. Toni says she's never been to grief counseling, and she doesn't really know what we're supposed to say here. And so everybody's really, really nervous, um, emotional. Toni is really, really, you know, she doesn't really know what to say. And it's just basically on a be continued loop. So we only got to the beginning of it. Everyone doesn't know what to say, what to do, and all the things. Um, but yeah, y'all, this was dedicated to Traci. Rest in peace, my sweet, sweet angel. And that is how the episode goes off. I gave it a 10 out of 10. It was very, very emotional. It was very I just thought it was a great tribute to Traci. And I just hate that she has to get it after she's gone. You know, I'm a big proponent of give people their flowers while they're here to smell them. And this family is probably harboring a lot of guilt and shame because of the way the last reality show ended. Y'all had Traci out there by herself, scratching and surviving good times. And I believe that there's probably some guilt and some shame around it, and they probably don't know how to talk about it. It's very sensitive. It feels like, you know, we're a fly on the wall, and it feels hard, but I think it's important to showcase because all families go through these things. So I think it's very, very important to showcase the things. Kudos to them for being very brave and courageous to take these steps on camera. And sorry if y'all keep hearing my doorbell camera. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there because I'm kind of taxed a little bit because of the subject matter and how it surrounds sisters and siblings and stuff like that. But we know how family units are. We understand, and we know, and I definitely want to give them some grace because I know that they're dealing with some hard feelings, some things that they probably don't even want to you know admit to. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to kind of admit that thing. So yeah. Oh boy, this was a doozy. But you can see in the trailer that we'll have some more lighthearted stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at it.
You act like you guys are enemies.
Her death, instead of bringing all of you together, has created a bit of division.
Why the decision to return to the show?
Oh, being a Braxton is my legacy. It's my birthright, right?
Look at God.
I'm telling some jokes. They didn't tell you to stick to singing. I'm gonna tell you what your joke sounds like. Ask me if I'm a tree. Are you a tree? No. Family is very important for all of us.
How was school?
And I hit the bullseye and get a grandbaby. You told my children to get vasectomies?
If they don't want kids, yeah.
Aren't you setting something up for me?
I'ma do it. Get you a date.
You ready? Ready, friend.
The last time we talked, y'all were going to take it another step. I just have one question for you.
That performed over 4 years. Just a few months ago, I had a major scare involving my heart.
Every day I'm like, I still don't get sick. I don't get sick.
I just lost a child! There are parts of my story that has to be told. I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't strong enough to see.
I'll stop the entire show.
All right, y'all. So that was what's to come. You see that there are going to be some more lighthearted moments, but it also seems like there are going to be a lot of emotional times as well. So if it has a good balance to it, I think we can do it. It shouldn't be no more than 8 to 10 episodes. It shouldn't be like a real, all of that carrying on. I think it'll be fine with 8 to 10 episodes and yeah, getting reacquainted with the Braxtons, y'all. So y'all let me know how you feel about it. Rest in peace to Traci, or your absence was felt, your presence was missed. And yeah, so I'll see y'all back here next week to talk about it. Leave your comments down below. And as always, have a great day. Bye bye.